Gran Turismo 8 cannot just be Gran Turismo 7 2.0 because the danger is that it obviously would just look amazing but would still end up being built on many of the too many same broken ideas and incomplete ideas that Gran Turismo 7 had, because sim racers have been asking for the same things for a few years now. A real career mode, no more roulette garbage, no more online only dependence, no more starting half a lap behind and pretending that this counts as race design as we approach 2030. No more treating VR like a pure side mode. No more penalty system that does feel sometimes like it was built to annoy the victim. So Polyphony, stop building a beautiful racing game around systems that keep frustrating the people who care about it the most. And that's why this matters so much, because I think Gran Turismo 7 is now reaching the point where Polyphony can't just stretch it forever and hope a few more updates solve a bigger problem. At some point, you do stop needing another patch, even though they're free, and start needing a completely new layout. I, for one, I'm happy to pay £60 for a brand new Gran Turismo 8 now, with a new structure and a new mindset. Because if a new version of Gran Turismo 8 is coming as we think, it cannot just be a shinier version of the same old formula. It has to be the game that looks at Gran Turismo 7 and says, right, what actually needs fixing here? In a much better way than Gran Turismo 7 did when it looked at GT Sport. So today I want to talk to you about why Gran Turismo 8 obviously cannot just be GT7 2.0 and why there's one thing Polyphony absolutely has to get right before anything else, because if they miss it again, all of the graphics in the world will not save that game. So firstly, a real career mode has to come back. If Gran Turismo 8 launches without a proper Gran Turismo mode again, then honestly, we're just going to be having the same old conversation again in a few years on this channel. People want a real journey, real progression, real championships, and a game that feels like you're building your way up instead of being dragged through a guided museum tour. Gran Turismo also has to stop pretending that starting half a lap behind your opponents and overtaking really slow AI cars counts as proper race design. Gran Turismo 8 needs actual qualifying, grid starts and race weekends so winning feels earned instead of scripted. And I've got some good news for you, because if you combine Sophy AI and what we saw in the GT7 paid DLC power pack, they can kind of do that. But there's already some issues with that. You can't skip the qualifying if you want to in the power pack, and that's just not user friendly. But if Gran Turismo can bring that together, hopefully we can get a proper career mode with progression, with races and weekends that actually make sense. Now I want to get onto Roulette, because so many of you are in my comments for years and years and years talking about how you're just so fed up with Roulette, and I hear you. Roulette has to go. No more fake spins. I've proven I'm fake on this channel. No more joke rewards, no more systems that feel like progression is nothing more than a slot machine. If Gran Turismo 8 wants to feel premium, it has to stop using mechanics that are inherently cheap. And this comes into the economy as well, because there's also a lot of grinding and like, oh, this is the best grinding race to do, that I've always hated since the first week of Gran Turismo. I made very controversial videos about it, saying that should be stopped. There should be easier ways, more fun ways to make credits. Because in my opinion, as someone who has a full-time job, and I do this in my spare time, and I play Gran Turismo in my spare time, I'm not a full-time Gran Turismo YouTuber. By the way, please subscribe if you want to help me to be able to keep doing what I'm doing here. But for me, the moment Gran Turismo starts feeling like work, something has gone badly wrong. I don't play games that feel like work. I play games that reward skill, that kind of give me enjoyment, that have challenges where I have to improve my skill to overcome those challenges, and that gives me more enjoyment. So I think Gran Turismo 8 needs to go down that route. Clean racing. Clean fun racing should give you credits, not grinding. You shouldn't feel frustrating that you have to do a job outside of your job just to earn enough credits to buy the McLaren F1. Also tying into this, offline play, in my opinion, has to be taken really seriously. And I'm a big online player, but I went through a massive journey with GT7 where I really understood the offline community. So many of you subscribers to this channel are really strong members of that community. And in my opinion, a game like Gran Turismo should not make solo players feel like second-class users in their own garage. Gran Turismo 8 needs proper offline access for the parts people actually buy the game for, because a premium driving game should not feel like it only half belongs to you. And it's all coming in with like wasting people's time, and it's one of the big themes of this video. Gran Turismo 8 has to respect our time. In an age where we all have Instagram and TikTok and Twitter and all these kind of things that are, let's be honest, a lot of it is wasting our time. I feel like Gran Turismo should respect and reward our time. Less menu friction. Less menu friction. Less pointless padding of stuff. Less awkward progression and more actual driving. Now, again, I know this channel is built a lot on the VR community, the PSVR 2 community. I know a lot of you are grateful for the way I reviewed PSVR 2 and was very honest with you about the clarity and things like that. So let's talk about VR, because if Gran Turismo 8 supports VR, which it absolutely should, then VR players need the complete experience. We deserve it. Proper HUD options. One button to hide and show the HUD. A proper radar that's meant to be for VR. Pit information. Seat adjustment. Cockpit control. And feature parity. Well, you know, we don't want to be left behind. Stop treating VR like a luxury extra, and if you start treating it like a proper way to play the game, Gran Turismo could be a real system seller for PSVR 2. It could be a real haven for virtual reality. Now let's talk a little bit about online racing, because Gran Turismo 8 does need a penalty system that understands context and punishes the driver causing the mess, not the one getting wiped out. That's the summary of what a penalty system should do. Because right now, and it's been like this for a while, too often in Gran Turismo, the victim is the one paying the price double, not only getting punted off, but sometimes getting a penalty for it. And I actually think Gran Turismo's online mode needs a complete reset. I don't want to see another iteration. I want a complete reset. It should feel like a modern premium racing platform, but at the moment it feels stagnated. We need better lobbies, and often that is just better matchmaking, better tools. Being able to search the lobbies by how populated they are. Host migration. I raced in many amazing leagues in GT Sport with some of the best racers, racing with Super GT on a weekly basis and making videos for you that you guys really enjoyed. We were unable to carry on that league in GT7 because the tools went away, which is absolutely insane. And also in sport mode. Sport mode has to be improved. No more grinding your quali time and grinding a quali time on a Monday that lasts all week. There should be one lap quali for the races. That would completely reinvigorate the game, in my opinion. Now let's talk about Sophy, because Sophy can't and shouldn't be the smart thing that Sony shows off to get investment in AI and show it off in trailers and then barely use it. Gran Turismo 8, like, we are the players here. Like, don't forget about it. Gran Turismo 8 needs AI that matters across the whole game. Offline races, private lobbies filling them up, endurance, training, coaching, and everywhere else that players actually spend time on track. Now, if you want to expand that to not just being on track, B-Spec. I can't believe we have apparently the most advanced AI, you know, racing AI in a game. I'll say the word AI again because maybe the algorithm will like it. But if Gran Turismo wants to feel serious about endurance racing, we need B-Spec style support, and it should be already there, and then we can do endurance races. And I would say, and I made a video on this in 2021, believe it or not, 2021, saying Gran Turismo 7 needs driver swaps. I've been doing a lot of iRacing, online racing with my mates, and I love the driver swaps. I love what it meant to share a car and like the dynamics of that and the emotions you feel. And I was sure that GT7 would add that in. Gran Turismo has driver swaps. I don't want to spoil it for you, but I go to the GT World Series. The Gran Turismo, the game, has driver swaps. They just haven't released it to you and me, like the ordinary people, which is kind of insane. And they need to do that to make Gran Turismo feel like a shared motorsport experience. Now let's get on to the road car issue in GT7, because Gran Turismo always gives us loads of road cars, but too often it still feels like the game just doesn't really know what to do with them. Gran Turismo 8 needs more road car events, more themed championships, more places to use these cars properly, and more reasons to care about them beyond just collecting them. Separate a little bit the road cars and the race cars. There are some cool things we should be able to do with road cars that we just can't do in the game. And also stop just gatekeeping cars behind weird timers, random invites, and systems that feel designed to keep you hanging around for the wrong reasons. If the car is in the game, the fun should be in earning it properly, not waiting for polyphony to let us buy it. Now let's talk about tracks, because early on in GT7's lifespan, we were getting tracks added for free quite regularly. That's obviously dried up. Now more tracks obviously matter, but Gran Turismo 8 I think needs to give the community more to work with. Better custom races, better event creation, stronger livery tools, and maybe obviously even a course or track maker in some form, because I think Gran Turismo is a big enough brand at the moment that it should feel like a platform. So it can be a platform where we all come in, share, create, celebrate, and reward the people that are doing this creation. So it's not just about them gatekeeping all of the content. And again, this is a bigger point of the whole video. If we rely on Gran Turismo to kind of like pipe through updated cars and tracks, it's very curated in an age where we have tools everywhere. You don't go onto YouTube and only see what YouTube themselves have created. You see what creators like me have created, and YouTube gave me the tools, unless you're watching on Facebook, which is quite weird. Make sure to follow me on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram as well. I'll put all the links in the description for this one. But they should allow us in Gran Turismo to create as well and share and become a real community. And I know a lot of you will have been really cynical and think I will have forgotten this point. So hopefully I've addressed it here. Put a glasses emoji in the comments if I have. Because arguably the real final test is that Gran Turismo 8 cannot arrive half finished. It can't ask players to wait 2 years for it to become what it should have been on day one. We saw what happened with Forza Motorsport. Even Gran Turismo 7 launched in a bit of like, you know, the daily races changed very quickly. There were lots of features they needed to add in, like the used car dealership. And this time around, I think Gran Turismo 8 should be a really polished experience from day one, because that is the unique selling point of Gran Turismo. Like when you compare it to ASETEK Evo or Le Mans Ultimate or Project Motor Racing, it is quality. Well, I'm going to stop going on. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm going to put more videos around the screen here. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.